looking to find the best. Elite does mean best. So we're looking for the elite ones.
The philosophy of Elite 11 is to give every kid a chance. We go across the country. Thanks to Nike, we have a free platform for everyone to get a chance to compete and learn.
We're not just looking for the top quarterbacks. We're looking for the top competitors, and ultimately we'll find the one MVP field general.
It doesn't matter where you're from. You don't have to throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. We'll find you. And when we find you, be ready, because we're going to be ready to compete. We want you to compete and hopefully make it into the Elite 11.
So the Elite 11 process starts with the Elite 11 regional. We have between 10 and 14 regional quarterback camps, and we're gonna bring in, on average, 50 to 70 of the top quarterbacks in the area. And we're gonna put them through a competition. We're gonna start off testing their physical ability. We'll measure them, we'll run 40-yard dashes, that sort of stuff, and then we'll get into drills on the field. Regionals are a huge part of the process. Film's very important from the fall, but we need to see you in person at a regional camp in the spring to really be a viable candidate to make the Elite 11 semifinals, which is the next step. 30 of the top quarterbacks that came through the regional process competing for a weekend, and through that semifinal process, we whittled down our field from 30 to 18 that come up and participate at the Elite 11 finals as part of the opening on Nike's World Campus.
The dream for Elite 11 has always been to get the stories out. No more Kurt Warners. I love the Kurt Warner story, but it's not fair.
This whole thing was so guys like Kurt Warner, who were bagging groceries in the grocery store, would get found. We wouldn't miss these gems that are out there and these Hall of Famers that are out there like himself. And over the years, I think we've done a pretty dang good job of that.
I mean, almost 80% of the National Football League's quarterbacks have gone through this process. 9 of the last 10 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, everybody from Jameis Winston, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. It is the who's who at the QB position.
Kids like Mark Sanchez, Tim Tebow, Matt Stafford, Andrew Luck. We've seen hundreds of kids, some of them just making all league, some of them getting scholarships, some becoming the first pick of the draft. We just want them to get after it if that's what they want. Pursue it, go for it, rip it.
When I think back over the years of the Elite 11, I think about a guy like Chase Daniel, who was a 6 foot at best quarterback out of South Lake Carroll High School in Dallas, Texas. Tremendous high school football player, but everybody looked at him and said, hey, he's 5'11 and a half. Probably not gonna be a great college player. We took him for Elite 11 because we saw him at the regional and we saw what he was made of. He was a winner. And Chase Daniel went on to be a tremendous success at Missouri, obviously, Heisman finalist. And he's still 5'11 and a half and still playing in the NFL now for a guy that a lot of people thought wouldn't come out of high school. And so we're tremendously proud of that.
We've had guys that are tougher than others. We've had smarter. We've had more powerful. But you're looking for the one thing they do better than anybody else in the class. If you can find that, chances are that this kid's gonna be successful if the rest can be developed.
When we look at what we're trying to do here, it's not the 11 best quarterbacks, it's 11 best competitors. When it comes to Elite 11, it's everything that embodies Jet Duffy.
I came out the womb a quarterback. I feel as if I've always been a quarterback. I've played multiple sports, but football is what I fell in love with.
He's undersized, he's 6 foot, 175 pounds. And he's got McNeese State and Stephen F. Austin as his offers. So a lot of people couldn't name where those two schools are. And Jett shows up to Dallas Regional. He didn't flinch. He actually excelled.
Good job, Jett. Great series. 5 for 5. Great job.
He came to Dallas and he was good. He was in the top group, almost got MVP. He said, I'm not happy with that. Jet Duffy was not gonna be denied. So I'm gonna come back to New Orleans. New Orleans gets MVP. All right, Jet, great job. 2 regionals, invited to the semifinals. Hey, I'm gonna come to the one in Charlotte in 2 weeks. Jet, Charlotte's a long way from Dallas, so I just wanted to come compete again. So Jet comes to Charlotte.
You already have an invite to the semifinals. Like, you don't need to do this. He puts his cleats on, goes out, destroys everybody, and wins the MVP. Go to the semifinals. We're in 7-on-7 the final day I'm calling plays. I got you, coach. Slaps him on the butt, throws 2 touchdowns, goes 6 for 6. I was like, okay. This kid's just a catalyst.
The process is about really buying in. There's nothing like buying in and going to 3 different regionals.
When you look at the finals this year of the Elite 11 and the field of 18 that made it, other people might not think this at this point, but we think Jet Duffy is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Let's bring him to the final.
Elite 11 is like Top Gun for the quarterback position. Think about it. We go from 1,000 quarterbacks to the top 30 at the semifinals, to the top 18 here at the Elite 11 finals in the opening, and ultimately we'll get the top 11 quarterbacks in the country. It's a fraternity. So if you're in for life, and if you're in, you're probably a baller.
You're now rocking with the best. You're now rocking with the best.
You can't get no better than this. Proud to be here, and I'm gonna keep on working my butt off. But it's an honor to be here at the Elite 11.
Now rocking with the best, you're welcome. Rappers falling off, and I can't help them. Knew I was coming, I finally arrived. Nothing fake, you can see my soul through my eyes.
These kids have been around big time ball. Hype and potential, those are not new to these kids. They show up here and they thrive a lot quicker.
What you think this is, kid? Step up on your grown man, be about your business.
What's it gonna be like out there? I mean, what are they gonna put us through? It's just a bunch of different questions going through my head.
Something brand new, feel my own self, damn, I'm a fan too. Started with a dream, then all of it came true. Now the only thing I know is there's nothing I can't do. You're now rocking with the best.
Since I was 5 years old, I've wanted to be part of that 11, so I'm gonna do anything I have to do to be a part of the Elite 11.
You're now rocking with the best. Rocking with the best.
There's actually no place I'd rather be on the earth right now. It's the competitor inside me, I'm always looking to compete, and I want to be the best. I want to win this thing.
Hard act to follow, still I lead by example. Dude tried to run up on me, got trampled. Skills is ample, MCs need to scramble like Randall. The microphone vandal, lead the game in shambles, controlling the rock.
Here I am, just really happy to be here, but ready to compete every day.
The opportunity for me to get better and be around some of the best players in the nation, I just couldn't wait.
You're now rocking with the best.
The Elite 11 means the world to me. All the hard work that I've put in before this is just all coming to fruition. I've got myself in a position where I can come out here and compete with the best players in the country.
Quarterback heaven, that's been the theme, right? Let me tell you something, it's only gonna be a heavenly experience if you buy in, if you embrace it, if you realize what is sitting waiting for you for the next 6 days. Everybody here will bring their A games, I will make sure of that. Your experience is based on whether you bring your A games. The potential for this week is limitless. What you can learn, how it can change your life.
The journey of the Elite 11 experience. This is what we do. Help them find the best way to tap into their potential and not be like me.
You guys each have a ton of potential. But that word has haunted me. My career has haunted me. I lay in bed at night with regrets. You're saying, well, wait a second, didn't you win a Super Bowl? I did. It's the ring. I would give that away, the trophy, and everything to go back and pursue my career the way I'm asking you guys to pursue yours. I would trade that in a heartbeat to be able to reach my potential. Because I left so much out there. You will not lose a blink of sleep if you can lay in bed at night and say, you know, I've done everything that I can do to become the best that I can be, and I've pulled everything out of it. That's the big win. And that's what I want you guys to understand this week. There really is a secret sauce to this, to reaching your potential. It's doing the right stuff and being uncomfortable doing it. Because you know you can trust yourself. You don't need to be handheld. You don't need quarterback guru to walk you around or affirmation from mom and dad. You know that you own it, that it's on you. When you start figuring that stuff out, now you're supremely confident. That's what we're trying to do.
I realize we're getting down to business here. Having 17 QBs in the room who all think they're the best in the country, you got to go out there and you got to prove that.
We have 122 hours. What are you going to do with those 122 hours? It's going to be hot. Let's go.
All the quarterbacks, they know when they get off that plane and get to football heaven, something is going to happen. Coach Dilfer likes to call it his shock and awe moment.
So they're on the football field to start with. And you could just see them going, wait a second, why are we out doing footwork? Where's our big shock and awe? Then we have General Kearney, 3-star general, approach them and say, okay, guys, here's what's going on.
Well, first off, congratulations, guys, okay? But this is the last time I'm gonna tell you that you're doing great, you're wonderful, and all that, because once you become a leader, and once you're a leader on the field, you become a servant. So leadership really has two major components, competence, and then the other component of leadership is character. Okay, how many of you heard the old moniker that practice makes perfect? Well, I'm gonna tell you that practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes perfect. Have fun, enjoy the time you're here. It's great to be with you. Mike, back to you.
So here's what we got, all right? So from here, we got the next 4 hours or so. What we're calling the Team Red, White, and Blue, Team RWB, Field General Mission.
Mission number 1, take your 50-pound rucksack and run 1.8 miles in it.
It is a movement for time to go as quickly as you can. You're gonna go down this road right here, right down this trail, and you'll see it just keeps bending through the woods. The good news is, you'll have no sun. The bad news is, you got 50 pounds on your back, and you gotta be prepared for whatever might happen to you out there. Ready? Go!
Eason, Shea, DeWeaver, Buechele, I mean, they take off. Jordan's like, no, wait, let's pace ourselves. And Shea was the guy that said, I don't need to pace, it's only 2 miles. We're crushing this.
Growing up in a military family, my dad always told me about, the rucksack and him having to run with it on. And I never believed in that it was going to be that hard. And so I got a lot of respect for him.
My dad takes so much pride in the military, and he's been in there 28 years. And, to pour my heart out there, running them 2 miles with a 50-pound backpack on my back, it just really feels like I'm giving back to him. So I'm really proud, and I'm sure he's gonna be really proud also.
It wasn't something that's gonna break you physically, but it's something that's gonna test you physically, but there's also a tactical part to it. One member goes down, gets fake injured. And they have to carry that guy, and somebody has to carry his rucksack. So now you just added the weight of a 200-pound, 220-pound quarterback and the 50-pound rucksack that he was carrying.
Go, baby, go, baby. Get ahead of him, get ahead of him. Oh!
Hey, y'all got his legs? Yeah, come on, let's go.
Really can't stop. If you stop, then you look weak, and you don't want to look weak. Going against 17 other guys trying to get the same thing you want.
I was super impressed with a bunch of the kids.
Let's go, guys! 50 meters to the end.
No flinch, no complaining, no excuses. Let's give everything we have right now to this process, then we'll deal with the rest later. Exactly what we're trying to get out of these young men.
Wrap the best muscle and skill you got right here around the problem quickly, just like you're gonna do on the field, and go, let's come up with a solution, let's move out, let's do it together. Think and act.
So the second thing was this idea of building something using two-man teams to problem solve. They had to take a box of Legos, and then literally this little Lego box says ages in bold black 6 to 12. You're gonna crush this. All you have to do is follow directions. Put the little Lego plane together, and then run down and do 11 burpees, run back, and reassemble it. Here's the kicker. If you use the directions to reassemble it, you have a 5-minute penalty.
We don't want the instructions.
To watch these quarterbacks try to figure out how to build this tiny little plane was absolutely hilarious.
Legos.
What'd you do, bro?
I have absolutely no idea.
My whole life, like, I've loved doing Legos. My grandma used to buy them for me. Me and Jett had some trouble doing the Legos.
You guys ran yet?
No. We messed up the whole frame.
We took it all apart, and then we were like, wait.
Legos, man. My little brother was here. He would have got it done in 2 minutes. I'm not much of a Lego guy, so it was pretty tough.
I'm gonna tell you on the plane here, I did not expect this.
Oh man, that was the one thing I messed up. The Legos part was probably the hardest part for me. It was me and Jake, and first time we did it, we were good. So we came back, we were feeling proud of ourselves. We were like, oh yeah, we're gonna get this. We're like, yeah, we don't need the instructions. And we didn't finish. It was awful.
They were challenged to use their minds, use some teamwork, communicate with one another, which they find so difficult. It was just really cool to watch. The team that won, by the way, they won by 10 seconds, and they took the 5-minute penalty and used the directions.
I never really liked Legos, but I might have to start playing with Legos with my nephew just in case in the future I have to do it again.
I want to be very clear on what we're doing next, okay? Each of your groups, you've got what's called a litter. So if someone's wounded, you open this litter up and you carry them, right? You're gonna choose one person. You're gonna go down to the end zone with the person in there, okay? You're gonna come back with the person in here. After that, you got this trusty 50 feet of rope. Your job is gonna be to affix a knot to this water jug. Then as a team, you're gonna move this thing all the way down to the end of the field and back, but here's the catch. Whoever's in contact with the rope has got to be basically either on their knees or on their backside.
If you were touching the rope, you had to have 4 points of contact. So there's a lot of tactics to this. And it was for 30 minutes, as many down and back as you could go.
Ready? Go!
Let's go, team! Let's work, baby!
It was definitely the hardest I've ever been tested in my entire life. You really have one or two options, whether you're gonna suck it up, give it your all, or whether you're gonna act like you're tired. Your true personality really comes out when things aren't going right.
KJ Costello didn't flinch. Jake Zembiec didn't flinch. And you saw some players, Dillon Sterling Cole, for instance, who struggled a little bit.
I don't want you to tap out when it gets hard on the football field. You're jumping on the cot every opportunity you can, and you're looking for reasons not to do it. There's carryover to that.
I don't think I did very well at all. I feel like I should have did more. My preparation wasn't good. You know, I just worked on just football. That wasn't really helpful at all going into the workout with Team Red, White, and Blue.
There's gonna be guys that want to do as little as possible, and then there's the great ones. These are the ones that we're all gonna follow the rest of our life. They're the ones that have the stuff, know they have the stuff. Follow me, we'll get this done. And we saw quite a few of those in this mission.
Come on, Shea! Go, Shea!
I had to bear crawl the 100 and bear crawl back. It was hard, but once we got the hang of it, no one could stop us.
Shea Buechele wasn't the biggest recruit, not the biggest kid. He defines what like grit is.
This is the beast mode mission.
Being around the other 17 best quarterbacks in the country, it puts things into perspective. Coming from high school where I'm doing big things and I have a lot of success, but right now, you know, I'm just another guy. I'm fighting for that top spot. I'm fighting to get in the Elite 11, and getting to this level, everything matters.
Great effort, great toughness. The point here is help you reach your potential. The fitness part is huge. Don't be a knucklehead like me, and don't take it serious. That's stuff that will change your life and help you change other people's lives for the better.
So my last mission is always a fear-based mission, because we all have to conquer some fear. And what we learned is for some of these kids, just getting in water is overcoming some fear.
I haven't swam in 6 years. And, you know, it honestly pushed me and made me do something that I wasn't comfortable with.
That was the initial challenge of mission number 4. When you're uncomfortable, how do you perform? The mission: swim the length of the pool with a life jacket on and a football in the water. The catch: you cannot touch the football.
That's it, work together as a team.
You've got these quarterbacks competing relentlessly in the final mission of Team Red, White, and Blue.
That's it, guys, good job.
Trent Dilfer always says, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I really appreciate that because I almost drowned. And I had to be comfortable with that.
3 of the guys that couldn't swim, by the end are laughing and no life jacket. So I think it was probably healthy to have a little more fun towards the back end, especially leading to peer reviews, which is kind of the climax of the night.
So the final thing that our entire group does together is we have a peer review. They sit down with all the quarterbacks in their group and they evaluate one another. Who is the best? Who is the worst? Who I could count on? Who let me down?
Your body language seemed very not receptive.
Once you put the leadership hat on, it's time to wear the big boy pants because the consequences are the team gets better or they don't.
It's so hard for them to be critical of people they just went through something hard with because there's a bonding that happens in the midst of that.
If we don't ever tell each other what we're observing, then we can't ever get better. We'll just be good. And that's how your career is going to be. And it's not just about football, it's about life.
The beauty behind it is they get it. They admitted that, like, I'm really sad that I didn't give more, but I did learn that I had more to give.
When we were running, you were more giving up on yourself and on the team rather than, fighting through it and continuing.
That's true. I feel like I did kind of let you guys down at the beginning. I'm sorry about that.
I think it's really powerful. I think it's a great tool, but it's very difficult for them.
It betters me because it kind of wakes me up and kind of got me going, understanding that, all right, I got to pick it up. There's no more slacking now.
I don't think that kids enjoy hard work necessarily, but I mean, once you realize how much better you've gotten that day, I think that's when you realize how fun it is.
Stuff's gonna happen. It's gonna be tough. It's never gonna be easy. If it's easy, it's not worth it.
I love it when those guys come back. This is their opportunity to go back and coach and teach and hopefully make a difference in these other kids' lives.
There's thousands of quarterbacks out there that really want to be in your position and sit in those chairs. This is really once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Football can be taken from you at any moment. And also know that this is only a certain point in your life, that it goes further than here.
It's crazy, but just doing something so subtle as staying with the school through some of the hardest times and just doing something that you feel is right can have such a broad impact on people.
This isn't about who's the top, who's not. It's about the person to the right or left of you. We call it a brotherhood.
If you really want to truly be the quarterback you want to be, you got to love the game. You got to love what you do.
Every single time you take that drop, you're training habits. You're training muscle memory, so take advantage of every rep.
It's not about the final destination. It's about the stuff you do behind the scenes every single day.
The life that these kids are going to take, no one knows it better than these college counselors who are living it.
The vision for this night is always to give you guys perspective. You're all really good. None of you are that good. You haven't accomplished shit in the big scheme of things. And we want to make you good. It only gets harder from here, guys. Embrace it. Tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. We're gonna have yoga, then we're gonna be on the field. Can I make myself clear? All right, to the vans.